Cupcake Kamisama back here, and welcome to another video. This one will be the first one of a short series that I would like to start. And as you've gathered by the title, it will be all about advanced coordinating. It has struck me recently that although there is indeed a lot of advice on coordinating Lolita fashion, almost all of that advice is directed at new Lolitas. Of course, when you think about that, it makes perfect sense, because when you're new to something, that's when you need the most guidance and the most information. Once you figure out how coordinating Lolita fashion works or what the rules are, you tend to not need so much guidance as you did right at the beginning. Also, for Lolitas who, I don't want to say advanced, for Lolitas who have been at it for quite a while and know what they're doing, giving them advanced coordinating advice can come across somewhat patronizing, especially if they're not asking for constructive criticism or concrete. This series is taking my own experiences and aiming the advice that has helped me, that I've had to figure out the hard way, and aiming it at those intermediate Lolitas, the ones who aren't so much of a beginner right now because they already know what the rules are, they know what elements of the chord are, and have a grasp about things like balancing colors or balancing themes, but haven't quite figured out yet what is it that will make the coordinates extra special. Because I know from my own experience that between the stage of I know what I'm doing, but my chords still read quite basic and it's obvious that I'm a beginner, to I know what I'm doing and my chords read as ones put together by a Lolita who's been at it for a few years, there's a step. And taking that step took me a lot of very conscious unpacking and analysing other people's outfits to extract the tips and advice that I needed. This series will present to you some of the things that I've learned make the biggest difference in making a coordinate look not just put together, but intricate and interesting, and to put together a coordinate that you want to keep looking at and see more and more details of. It's not going to be a very long series, but I'll dedicate each episode of it to one specific thing, one specific aspect. I'll talk about it and exemplify as best I can using images of my own coordinates, and I will briefly mention some of the other Lolitas that I think do that thing well, or that I think are a good example of what I'm trying to showcase. But I'm not going to be using other people's images because that will involve a lot of asking permission, and I know not everyone is comfortable sharing their own images on other people's content, so I'll just give credit where credit is due. But also, I don't want you out there watching this video right now to think this is the only way. What I want you to do is take the advice that I'm giving and then use it as a lens to look at the coordinates that you like and the coordinates that you have been inspired by. Because obviously we all have different tastes, we all have different preferences, we all have different styles. Someone, for example, who is wanting to be an old school Lolita will not find much use in looking at OTT suite coordinates. But I can't provide examples for every single subcell and every single theme that there might be. So I'll talk about things in broad generic terms so that whatever kind of Lolita that you're into, you can take that as a lens and look at other people's outfits that you've admired and think, oh, I see, I get what Cupcake Kamisama was trying to say. This series will also be running on my blog. It actually started as a blog. Well, it started as an idea for a blog post, and then I realized that, as always, I can't shut up. So it's now a series of posts, and I'm hoping to accompany it by a series of videos. So if you prefer written content, I will link the blog post in the description box below. And for those of you who prefer to listen to me talk, you've got this video to enjoy. But before we start discussing that first topic, have you clicked that subscribe button? Have you clicked the bell? I'm not the most regular uploader out there, so trust me, if you want more of this, you'll want to click that bell and you'll want to subscribe. I'll also very quickly drop my Patreon into this at this point, because for patrons on the $1 a month tier, you'll get early access to every single blog post that I publish on my blog. And people on the $2 a month tier get 1 week early access to every video that I put out there. So if you want to get that advice from the Advanced Coordinating series before everyone else gets it, Patreon is your way to go. The first topic of this series is all about hair and makeup. You may be wondering, why is this the first one? Are you trying to force us to curl our hair and wear wigs and have tons of makeup and false eyelashes? No. The reason for that is very simple and quite practical, in that hair and makeup, generally speaking, involves no additional financial cost. Obviously, this will vary from person to person. There are people who legitimately do not own a single bit of makeup, or who do not own more than a hairbrush, not even any hairpins. But those are easy things to source, and learning to do your hair and makeup requires predominantly time and patience to practice. If you want to go out and invest in extra bits such as wigs, special hair tools, special products for your face or for your hair, that's entirely up to you. But hair and makeup can make the biggest difference with the least amount of financial investment into it, which means that it's the easiest thing, or more so the most accessible thing for an intermediate Lolita to start doing to make tremendous changes and improvements to their coordinates. If any of you are into vintage fashions or follow vintage-esque YouTubers, I'm specifically thinking about Rachel Maxey here, then you'll know that having the right hair and makeup can help you fake a lot. And Rachel Maxey is brilliant at showcasing that, because she's not ashamed to admit that a lot of the clothes that she has are mainstream, clothes that she's picked up secondhand, many of which are not intended to even be vintage, but by clever styling and adding that important hair and makeup, it transforms ordinary clothes from mainstream contemporary brands and shops into vintage looking outfits. And that is an energy that you can apply to Lolita. Granted, unlike vintage fashion, Lolita doesn't necessarily have a set hair and makeup look. You could argue that a hime cut is a Lolita hairstyle, but it's not a requirement, and you can have fantastic Lolita outfits with other kinds of hairstyles and other kinds of makeup. The key, in my opinion, lies in two things: maintaining balance and staying within your outfit's theme. Maintaining balance is the easier one to explain, I feel, and it's something that several different people on YouTube, several different Lolitas have already mentioned, and you're probably aware of it anyway. If your dress is stuffed to its max and you have the ultimate poof and are covered in all kinds of accessories, having flat hair and bare face will seem out of place. You can be the most attractive person in the universe, but it will just feel like your head is lacking. And similarly, having outrageous coiffed hair, you know, the taller the hair, the closer to God, and false eyelashes that cast a shadow all the way down to your chest, and then a very, very simple, very, very basic outfit will also feel out of place. It'll feel like you're top heavy and your head is detached from your clothes. What you need to do is consider how elaborate and how detailed, as well as how physically voluminous your outfit is, and then match your face and your hair to that. Now, if you're aiming for very OTT looks, then it will require extra time, potentially extra practice, maybe even extra pieces, such as false eyelashes or wig pieces, hair extensions, whatever you fancy. But the end result is worth it, as it creates a look that is cohesive from top to bottom. To demonstrate that, let's look at these two outfits using Angelic Pretty's Diner Doll. This one that I've worn in July 2020 is very simple. The kotso covers the bodice of the dress, which takes away some of the detail. There are very few accessories, there's only the bracelets and the ring. The head bow is small. Although I was wearing a petticoat, I wasn't trying to stuff it to its max. So it's small to moderate, just enough so that the dress isn't sitting quite limply. With an outfit like this, having a bare face and hair that's simply clean and brushed is enough. Of course, if I were to do something different with my hair and apply some kind of makeup, it could elevate that look into something more interesting. But as is, it does not feel out of place or like my head is detached from my body. And considering the occasion, which was working from home, this was perfectly enough. Now compare it to this outfit, which is from May 2020. Although the petticoat volume is more or less similar, as far as I remember, I've worn the exact same petticoat in both of them. The level of detail in this outfit is much greater. We have more accessories, we have patterns, we have textures, we have extra things like the clips on the shoes. The whole outfit is more in comparison to this very simple one. Moreover, this one was aiming for a particular theme, particular look, which was llama-inspired Lolita, which meant that having the right hairstyle and having the right face was crucial. If we applied this brushed hair, bare face, head and stuck it on this outfit, it would seem disjointed. It would seem like there isn't enough going on for everything else that's going on neck down. This is why having makeup, predominantly in the form of the Igari style blush, and having a more thought out hairstyle was necessary to make this look work. Although I was using a wig in this one, I didn't style it in anything too complicated. These are just bubble braids, which all you need for is have hair long enough and enough elastics to put at regular intervals and fluff the hair up around to create the bubbles. If you want to get more into it, you could probably backcomb it a little bit to give it proper volume and shape, but just as is, especially with the wig that's already curled and quite voluminous, is enough. And again, the makeup isn't necessarily complicated. I probably could have done more in terms of makeup, but just having a distinct blush and having a lip colour was enough so that my face didn't seem washed out against these very bright colours, these very bold patterns and all the accessories. And seeing as we've already touched on theme, wiping the slate clean for a bit. When I say that hair and makeup is about staying within the theme of your outfit, I'm not just talking about outfits like the one I've just shown you. Theme in this context is more than just big meetups and big events where someone is setting a theme for the event and trying to match that. I guess you could also say match your hair and makeup to the occasion and purpose of the outfit. So things to consider are you trying to exude a certain energy? Are you going out to a particular place, or is there a specific occasion for you wearing this outfit? Or what is your purpose for today? Are you going places, or are you just staying here? Do you need to prioritize certain things such as weather or comfort? All the things that we consider when choosing the outfit itself, you should also do to your hair and makeup. So let's compare these two outfits with Metamorphosis Gold Braid Tuck Pinafore JSK. This one is from April 2020 and I did wear it to a virtual meetup. Now the meetup itself wasn't themed, however we were doing live drawing and everyone had submitted pictures for everyone to draw, and the organizer even dropped us a list of prompts that we could try and match our outfits to, so that it was more interesting for the people doing the drawing. Even just at a glance, it's obvious that this outfit is more elaborate, so the occasion and the purpose wasn't just to lounge at home. The purpose of this was to be drawn. Sounds really vain, but that is what it was. Even without knowing anything more about this outfit, you can already tell that it was aiming for a particular feel. In this case, something quite regal, something quite elegant and powerful in a way, through all those reds. There's plenty of detail, from the dramatic princess sleeves and all the ruching on the blouse, to all the gold jewelry and the hair accessories being a crown and some flowers. So having, again, just a simple brush down flat hair and a bare face would seem washed out against this level and depth of detail and this saturation of colors. When you also add to this the fact that this was supposed to be a character inspired outfit, and once you realize what character I was aiming for, the hair becomes central to the coordinate, as that was the hair color and roughly style that the character would be going for. And then even though said character would normally be wearing natural makeup, having something more distinct, more visible, made sure that my face wasn't washed out, as I said, but also tied in things like color within the coordinate, because your hair and makeup can also work in helping you maintain color balance. Now compare it to this outfit, which is from August 2020. It is overall much simpler, and whereas this outfit was going for a regal vibe, this is almost going for the opposite and almost for peasant vibe. There was no occasion to this one. This was another working from home day. It also happened to be during a heatwave week, so having as few accessories and as few layers as possible, and having all the layers to be quite breathable, was necessary for practical reasons. Because the outfit itself is a lot simpler, had I had a bare face and just brushed down hair, it wouldn't have seemed out of place. It may not have been the most comfortable one, having long hair down my neck, but it would work with the outfit. Having said this, because I have opted to do milkmaid braids and add a touch of colour to my face through lipstick, helps take this outfit from this is just something simple for hot weather to now it starts to read townsfolk-esque. Having had those two comparisons, hopefully lets you see just how powerful hair and makeup can be in transforming an outfit. And although the examples that I've shown you are using coordinates that are based on the same dress but have different everything else, if you are someone who's at the beginning of your Lolita journey and you only have one or two complete outfits, you can still use hair and makeup to change things up. For a hypothetical scenario, let's assume that we have someone who is a sweet Lolita with medium to long straight hair and average makeup skills. They can do bits and make them look okay, but they're not a makeup artist in any meaning of that phrase. They can wear that same outfit with their hair down or maybe braided, and just a tiny bit of a shimmery eyeshadow and a lip gloss, and that's almost your standard textbook Sweet Lolita hair and makeup setup. But now let's say they're changing hairstyle to bubble braids or getting it curled in some soft curls and adding a very prominent Igari style blush. Boom, you've got yourself a more llama inspired outfit. Now you can change it up by adding false eyelashes and teasing the crown of your hair to get a voluminous bump, and you've got yourself a Hime coordinate. Keep things somewhat more rosy and toned down but still prominent with the makeup, and maybe put the two braids up in a crown. And this is something leaning more classic, sweet classic thing. If you're like me, you might be tempted to curl your hair with pink curls or to do a victory roll, add a winged eyeliner and a red lipstick, and your outfit now reads more retro. All of this without changing the clothes themselves, potentially just changing smaller bits like hair, accessories or jewelry. Of course, for those coordinates to truly read as hime or lame or retro or classic or anything, you'll probably need a lot more in terms of the accessories and the right cuts of things. But just having that hair and makeup with those clothes can change up the look of the outfit. I'll insert some pictures here comparing the same outfit, which will be an OP with a hat, because that's as same as you can get. There's nothing else to affect how the outfit reads. And I'll photograph it with different styles of hair and makeup to show that difference further. As lockdown continues and I'm wearing Lolita a lot more myself, particularly in very casual styles, I'm also myself realizing the extent to which hair and makeup affects an outfit. And that goes for outfits both of my own and of other people. I've been able to pinpoint that when I feel particularly pleased with an outfit that I've done, or where someone else's outfit really catches my attention, it's because the same attention that went into the clothes was given to the hair and makeup. And again, this isn't to say that now you have to have beautifully styled hair or wig and fantastic makeup with every single thing, because that's not how that goes. As I said, someone who's more into old school will not need gigantic false eyelashes and a twin tail wig. That would actually look really out of place with this simple old school coordinate, and simple braids, maybe a touch of lip gloss, if desired, will be perfectly enough. And on the other hand, someone wanting to go into more gothic could probably benefit from learning how to get teased twin tails or experiment with lipstick colours and trying black or blue. It doesn't have to be everything or nothing, and different outfits and different occasions will require different levels of it. One person that I particularly admire for their ability to create a look that's tied together with the way the hair and makeup are styled is Fanny Rosie on Instagram. Fanny Rosie's outfits range. She's not just a Lolita, she wears all kinds of stuff from very kitschy pop kind of retro things to something refined and elegant, sometimes vintage, sometimes almost history bounding, sometimes just timeless, to her modelling from Moitié, and there's a whole lot of different looks. But for every single one of them, no matter how elaborate or how simple, her hair and makeup are done to match. And a lot of the times when you break down the outfits, particularly the non-Lolita ones, in their core form, they tend to be quite simple. Jeans and a t-shirt, a blouse and a skirt, a dress with a hat. Of course, as I said, accessories are crucial, and her outfits do show just that, but they wouldn't be the same had she styled her hair differently, or had she done her makeup differently, or had she foregone styling either. If you are looking for some inspiration on how styling your hair differently can affect an outfit, I think her Instagram feed is a good starting point, because even though when she does Lolita it tends to be the classic or gothic, she also has enough colourful looks from her more kitschy pop styles to give you a couple of ideas for sweets. And again, everyone's hair is different, everyone's faces are different. There's no way around that but to practice on yourself and to try to see what works for you. It is sad how to this day we still get people in the Lolita community ask, can I wear Lolita if I have short hair? Or how can I wear Lolita if I've got a pixie cut? Not only because that question's been answered, but because of the underlying thing that you have to have long, thick hair, and that if you don't, your only other option is wigs. So find the people whose style you admire to see what tips and tricks you can apply from their styling to yours. But also look out for Lolitas with similar features or similar hairstyles to yours so that you can see how it's done. If your hair is short, looking at how other Lolitas with short hair style it so that they maintain the balance and stick within the outfit theme will help you. Hopefully these tips have been useful, and hopefully seeing the side-by-side comparisons in particular have been useful, with Lolita being very much a visual way of expression. Sometimes just writing things down isn't enough, and you need to see side-by-side how much of a difference one element can make. And I hope that this video has helped you understand that, and that you will be able to take those tips and find a way to make them work for you. And on that note, thank you so much for watching this video. I do sincerely hope that you found it useful and that you've gained something from it. As I mentioned, this will be a short series. I'm not committing to any promises how often the installments of this series will come out. Other than this, I have 3.5 further points to touch on. But if there are any aspects of what you'd consider advanced coordinating that you'd like me to explore and discuss, by all means let me know, and I'll see if that's something that I have a leg to stand on, so that I'm not just dishing out advice that I don't follow myself or that I don't believe in myself. If you've enjoyed this video, I encourage you to give it a like, comment on it, subscribe to the channel. As I said, make sure to click the subscribe and the bell buttons, because whilst my aim is to upload one video a month, sometimes this will be more. These days my one video a month tends to be the Around Your Wardrobe in 30 Coordinates challenge. So these advanced coordinating videos are coming as an extra on top of that. And as I said, I'm not committing to a particular schedule, so whenever they happen. And if you click that bell, you'll know when that is. As mentioned before, if you want to encourage me to do more content like this, then I suggest you either buy me a cup of coffee or join my Patreon, where $1 a month tier will get you early access to all the blog posts, and the $2 a month tier will get you 1 week early access to every video that I put out. And links to both are in the description below. And as always, I encourage all of you to check out my blog, which is Cupcakes and Unicorns, where you'll find more Lolita content. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye!